Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is KidNativeBloodyElbow.com, joined once again by the ineffable, Eugene S. Robinson. After a fight, something. Yeah.
Fight, bada bing, bada bang, in, out, nobody gets hurt. I got it.
Yes, stuttering, muttering freak. All right, so it's Arlovski versus Barnett, UFC Fight Night Hamburg. First time in Hamburg, home of the Beatles. Eugene, give us a disclaimer.
Disclaimer, crybabies, bedwetters, greedy bread gobblers, work-shy individuals, malingerers, chronic complainers. This has less to do with your skills or talents as a fighter and much more to do with the marketing heft and weight that the bald one and your overlords at WME have put behind you. You want to do TV commercials for Wendy's? Fight an exciting fight. Until then, don't come crying to us. It's very possible to move from don't care to care. Fight an exciting fight like Chris Collier Greens or Charles Oliveira or Bok Choy. But until then, it's not our problem.
Well said, well said. And so what's your overall care level for getting up at 8:45 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday to watch this action?
Man, my plans for Saturday included driving a dump truck full of dirt and rocks. So, insofar as it interferes with my plans, I'm pretty cranky about that. But I'm glad to have the fights over but early so that I can actually do something with my Saturday night. So I care. I'm a big Arlovski. I'm a, because of the catch wrestling thing, Barnett guy. He and I have a grudge match coming up. During which we won't be actually fighting. We will be racing for pink slips. So
I see. You're gonna give him your Chevy, huh?
More the other way around.
I see. What's he putting up?
I think he's got a 440, some kind of 440 Ford or something, and he actually thinks he's got enough muscle under the hood so that he doesn't have to walk home. But the challenge has been laid online, and I was glad to accept.
I see. Well, that sounds foolish. I hope no one is injured. All right, so we've got 6 fights on the.
To answer your question, my overall care level is pretty high, actually.
Is it?
Not
for
the card in total, but all it's got to be is for the headliner to get my ass in the chair, right?
That's how combat sports works. I predict you're going to care about 4 fights.
All right.
Out of what appears to be, let's see, a 11 fight card. So,
and this is a momentous day in actual fact, because Sorrell had the shits so bad last night that he was unable to show up at 7 o'clock this morning, meaning that I taught my first full BJJ class.
Well, people paid for your wisdom and experience.
People paid to having learned stuff that's gonna
set them back years.
That's gonna make them hated in the nation.
I see where the secret passed along.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, Sorrell is so high level, he's not thinking about the shit, like the minutia that guys who are purple belts have to think of to gain purchase on the next move. And so I'm big on diversionary tactics,
I see. Tugging, poking.
Yeah, you got it. Something like that. You gotta participate in EJJ to know EJJ.
I see. Did you tell him to just call you Gene?
No, I didn't do that. You're on thin ice.
All right. So we've got 7 fights on the Fight Pass prelims, and then 4 fights on the Fight Pass main card. Again, this starts at 8:45.
Say it again. 7 fights on the Fight Pass prelim.
Yes, and then 4 fights on the Fight Pass main card. So you're just getting to switch streams mid-show for really no reason other than they make you do that. But
it's all Fight Pass.
It's all Fight Pass. Starts at 11:45 a.m. Eastern time for the prelims, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the main card. So
give it to me West Coast time, please. I'm not so good with the maths.
Yes, we know. It's 8:45 a.m. for the prelims, 12 noon for the main card.
So it's 11:45 for the prelims in California.
So are you renting a dump truck? Buying some fill dirt?
Yeah, I'm renting a dump truck. Yeah, I'd like to own a dump. Actually, what I would like is to own both a dump truck and a warehouse. That would be my dream.
Wow, aim high. It could happen.
Hey, you know what? A man needs a good warehouse, and a good dump truck if he's going to get business done.
I see. Well, good to know. No, I'll inquire no further.
Landscaping.
Of course, quality fill dirt can be so hard to find. All right, so first up, we've got women's bantamweights, Veronica Macedo and Ashlee EvansSmith.
Care.
You care because of Ashlee EvansSmith?
Ashlee EvansSmith is a former known associate, member of the Sorrel fight team, Sorrel fight family, before she scarpered off to LA. She got busted for some sort of USADA violation, I believe. You're shaking your head. Was that it?
I'm sad for that. I mean,
she got kind of popped, but she's back. She's plenty tough, and I'm looking at this as being a redemption fight for her, and so I care, and I would actually give the fight to her.
I see. All right. Well, I can't argue with any of that because I don't have the personal connections. I don't care. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
But now you won over budget, so we'll see. We'll see how we go. Lightweight. I thought about I was on the fence about if you were going to care about Ashlee EvansSmith or not, and I was even going to use the term clubhouse cancer because of her.
You think she's a clubhouse cancer?
Well, I was going to let you say it. I wasn't going to say it.
No, I haven't seen that. I mean, she left here. I mean, I believe
she just fell into bad company there at the Sorrel Academy. Is that what happened?
I think largely, yeah. I think she ended up going out with one of the guys here, and that ended badly. And then it was like, I gotta go. So
I see.
I find it noteworthy that she did leave and that her fortunes increased substantially.
Well, maybe there's a lesson there. All right, lightweights: Leandro Silva and Rustam Khabilov.
I actually care too.
Yeah, I thought you would care about this one because of Khabilov or Leandro.
Both of them.
Both of them. Silva has become a care, not just another anonymous Silva.
Yeah, not just another anonymous Silva. But I'm gonna have to go with Khabilov.
I gotta go with Khabilov too. Although he is not the most reliable.
Not reliable, but reliable enough against the Silva.
Yes. I think you're right. I think you're correct. And he's got a little 2-fight win streak going. I too will pick Khabilov. He's got a win over your man George Masvidal. So yeah. So we're both picking Khabilov. All right. So middleweight: Scott Askham versus Jack Hermansson.
Do not give a fuck.
Nope. Sorry, guys. All right. Heavyweight: Jarjis Danho versus Christian Colombo.
Danho! Isn't that like? Sorry, man. It's fucking Slumdog Millionaire. I had to do a callback. Who was the second name? I know that guy.
Christian Colombo. I don't think you do.
Yeah, Chris Colombo. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either. Although it could be a knockout. You never know with these heavyweights. All right, now we've got
Colombo. Yeah, there's one other thing. That's it. That's my Peter Falk. All right, man. We'll see.
I see. I was hoping we could avoid that, but
you hoped in vain. So
I did. All right. So maybe you'll mention Nazis soon.
I was gonna mention Nazis because last night actually somebody gave me a hard time for not going full punk rock on Karl Rove, and I was like, well, another friend of mine from college had been the Undersecretary of Defense with George W. Bush, and I noticed he's put up on his page. I'm waiting, and he's got Hillary hate, Obama hate, Hillary hate, Obama hate, Hillary, and I'm where's his Trump love? He has no Trump love, but what he does have is a picture of him hanging out with Henry Kissinger. And I was like, that fucking prick. I would, and I was like, oh, you would hold the line against Kissinger, huh? You mean like you did against Karl Rove? Yeah. And so I was talking last night at band practice. I was like, man, I to a certain degree feel ashamed of myself. I mean, what would happen? I could see it now if I met Hitler, Am I going to be so easily suckered in? I'd be telling people on Monday, Hitler, some of his ideas are kind of radical, but he's a nice guy. He was nice to me.
The tofu vindaloo was charming.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Shit, man. He was real nice to Popeye.
Well, it's good we can face our moral failings, Eugene.
I don't know. I'm still imagining I would hold the line. You got to hold the line.
Like your friend is the last member of the Bush-Cheney administration not to endorse Hillary like that. She's gotten so many of the big ones. John Negroponte.
Oh, really?
That's
when did Negroponte throw in? When was that?
Like that was like 2 weeks ago. And the thing I was shocked was the Clintons put out a press release like you're excited about getting the, endorsement of the bloodstained killer. But anyway,
they didn't put out an announcement about Wolfowitz. So
no, that's true. They let Wolfowitz just endorse on his own quietly and didn't trumpet that. So I guess there is a line. All right.
Did it trump it?
Exactly.
Sorry.
That's right. Bantamweight, Taylor Lapilus versus Leandro Issa.
Do not care.
I don't either. Sorry,
almost because of Issa, but not enough.
Yeah, no. All right, so
I mean, because you got to realize this is cutting into my time. I'm actually training when these guys are fighting. So what's more important to me? I'm going to set the computer up and we'll have the fight going while we're training. But yeah, I'm still training.
You'll probably be narrating your own accomplishments louder than the fight's being called.
Yeah, pretty much. I do that as I roll. I do color commentary.
It's infamous.
Cinderella story. Robinson coming from behind. Oh, and he get. It's really fucking infuriating.
I'm sure. Right up there with getting the elbow in the eye socket. All right, so next welterweight Peter Sobotta versus Nicolas Dalby.
I don't care.
I don't either. Welterweight Jessin Ayari versus Jim Wallhead.
I don't care.
I almost care about Wallhead, but
almost.
Yeah, Judo Jim Wallhead, but I've been burned before, so I'm going to give it a don't care, just because I'm trying to be one of the cool kids now. All right, so
no, that's what you're doing on your profile picture, man. With you, what is that? A Gibson?
Yeah, that was my Les Paul special. It's the cheapest Les Paul they made.
That's good, man. You cut a dashing figure. I was like, oh shit, look at Nate.
Back in the day.
There you go.
That was my last ever gig on a stage.
Oh, that's sad. You should keep it up.
Yeah, I can't even play anymore at all. Like
really?
Really.
That's frightening. That's frightening.
Use it or lose it, and I lost it.
So if I gave you a guitar right now, you couldn't. Nothing.
I mean, I could do a few chords, but the thing is, it takes muscle stamina, to play like especially fast-paced stuff like I used to play, and it's just not there anymore. So
this is how it goes, buddy.
Yep, that is. Moral of the story: I wasn't that good to begin with. I shouldn't have been wasting my time on the guitar in the first place. So, lightweight Nick Hein versus Tai Hyung Bang.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost, but not quite. Sorry.
Yeah. Both of those guys are they're not quite gigtas, but they're guys I can't care about.
Yep. Right.
So So, but now we're into the fun part of the fight. Light heavyweight Ryan Bader versus Ilir Latifi.
Yeah, a big care.
Big care because you want to see Latifi smash Ryan Bader's head in?
No, Ryan Bader's a friend of Knuckle Up, man. And he's actually had the stones to come on Knuckle Up. And when I got to the whole jerking off in the salad thing that was very much part of his season of The Ultimate Fighter, he did not blink and just goes, yeah, that was kind of fucked up. it was not only, it was semen, spit, and poop that season. And he just drew a line and goes, yeah, that was, the way he dealt with it was good. It was like when I asked Scott Coker about one of his fighters. I go, what the fuck is that guy doing in the cage? And Coker just laughed and he took it. He didn't.
I see. Well, there you go.
Yeah. So the question is, as a care, do I have a pick? I've been a big Latifi booster, but I just don't see him having anything for the shot.
Really? Because you think he's not fast enough to hang with Bader, or what?
Not, man. Not when you're going up against a guy with some sort of wrestling pedigree. The issue is, can Latifi, can he get pride to start working? Can he get Bader in a position where Bader's like, I want to see if I can stand and bang with this guy. Then he's got a shot. If the guy is stupid enough to say, I want to see if I can stand and bang, which puts me on a 50-50 footing, then that'll be great. Otherwise, if I'm remember when Randy Couture fought James Toney?
Yes.
And everybody thought, oh, this is going to be Randy's got actually boxing pedigree. He's got some skills. And Randy was like, fuck you. Took a low ankle pick, beat him on the ground. He goes, this sport is called MMA. Sorry for you guys that wanted a boxing matchup. I'm not that stupid. So it depends. How stupid is Ryan Bader? As a friend of Knuckle Up, I'm going to have to say not much. I'm going to give it to Bader.
I see. I see. Well, Latifi does have some wrestling credentials, but you're right. Bader's American. Was he an All-American?
Something like that, yeah.
Division One.
Which is the shit. It's not easy.
It's high level. It's high level, especially because Latifi was a Swedish wrestler, so not the world's most vaunted.
Which means the difference is Bader's been doing it since he was like 5. That's the difference. And I could tell you for a fact, with my kids doing this since they were 5, they are better than me every fucking step of the way. Their fundamentals they're not stronger than me, but their fundamentals are cleaner, more artful, top to bottom.
I see. So going with Bader, I got to go with Latifi just because I'm hoping. I know it's a foolishness. You
just want to see more photos of Latifi on that shirtless on that horse. He's all out of love. I'm something out of love, and he's riding in slow mo.
Yeah, I could identify.
Yeah.
Put yourself in the position of the guy riding the horse on the beach, singing the power ballad. Okay, now we're to the co-main event. Light heavyweight, Alexander Redemption Gustafsson. I just named him Redemption. What do you think of that?
I like it, except somebody owns that already, right?
Probably. All right, versus Jan Blachowicz.
Yep, I care.
You care, and you're picking Gus? Is that?
Man, you realize what this fight is, right? It's a tune-up fight. They got to get some more juice in light heavy, and he's like God's forgotten man. If talk about a guy who's been fucking dark-starred, it's like you hear Gustafsson's name, you're like, oh shit, yeah. Textbook definition of dark-starred. When you got, oh yeah, that guy, he's still. This is a fight that's freighted with him with all kinds of significant weight, which is like, if you don't do this,
there won't be any more title fights.
Yeah, you're on that long road to nowhere, man. And it's like, I can imagine at some point him looking through the cage and looking at the bald one and the guy's just going like the scene with Abe Vigoda. Tom, could you help me out here? No can do, buddy.
Yep.
I mean, that's it. You got to get, on the other hand, fucking tough Polish guys like, I'm not going back to Poland broke. Fuck you. So it should be a good fight. We'll find out what we need to find out about Gustafsson, Blachowicz. We should come in loaded for bear. Could be a good fight. Do I want to make a pick? Oh, I really want the Mauler to be back in contention. But
I got to go with the Mauler here. I mean, he's coming off a fight of the night split decision loss to Daniel Cormier in a title fight. So
yeah. Oh.
He's lost 3 out of his last 4, but 2 of those 3 were great, very close fights. It was just Rumble Johnson that annihilated him. That was
but the thing is, we haven't seen his head since then. We
saw Cormier was after that, but Cormier didn't test his chin like Rumble did.
Nah, but it was. So now we're looking at the accumulated weight of failure, right? That's what we're looking at, right? So
yeah, but remember how he just murked on Jimmy Manoa when he came back from his John Jones loss. So I figure I'm expecting to see fireworks.
Well, I'm gonna have to pick. Despite my Polish preference, I'm gonna have to pick Gustafsson on this one.
I see.
But I do so with great feelings of trepidation.
I see. Well, yes, I can understand the treason probably lingers heavy in your conscience.
Well, the old lady is not really watching when we're watching.
I see.
She's had enough.
Burned out.
She's paid me back in spades by now competitive pole dancing, which she had her first competition last weekend. So I gotta sit through we got there like 8:30 in the morning, didn't get out to 7 at night.
Man,
a lot of pole dancing, buddy.
So they're doing to pole dancing what they did to belly dancing. Is that what you're telling me?
Made it competitive and desexualized it.
It used to be for men, and now it's for women. And
yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's for women, and then I'm sorry to say, it took a little adjustment for me to deal with the dude that was there.
The dude.
There was one dude competing, and I was like,
I see.
you know what? And it's a tough sport. You know, dude is doing the shoulder stand. His body is perfectly, horizontal to the floor, and is pretty athletic. And I was like, cool, man. I know kabaddi. What is it? It comes from the Indian sport. They do it in India. It's like 2,000 years ago. It's tough. It's tough to do. It's gymnastic, and I was down with it. And then he comes out for his secondary thing in high, sashaying out in high heels. And it's like, I'm cool. I don't feel, this is not making me feel super uncomfortable, but all that shit about desexualizing it, it resexualized it in an interesting way that I wasn't quite rolling my eyes, but it was like the portion of, it's like rhythmic gymnastics. The portion of it that's gymnastics, I like. The portion of it that's rhythmic, I can go, eh. The portion of this that was athletic, I like. But, the stuff, the floor routine, which is part of it, in actual fact, it's like, man, I don't like watching man ass at jiu-jitsu. I gotta sit here, okay, whatever, I didn't have any homosexual panic, but I was just like, there are lots of other things I'd rather be watching.
I see. Well, 8 hours of pole dancing sounds like
you could fill in that blank, man. It's 8 hours when I go down to do the world. 8 hours of jiu-jitsu. I'm like about had it. I can do 2 of those a year and I'm done.
Yeah. And your partner, does she sit through the whole jiu-jitsu tournament?
Sadly, yes. It's torture. Absolutely.
Even your whole match?
My matches are very short.
No, they seem to go the distance with a lot of standing and hugging.
What the best part about that is I completely ruined another guy on my team. He has never been back. He's Chris Bostic. He's great. And then he was like, this guy, he lost because the guy just held him because this is bullshit. I'm leaving. And some guys, no, Yuji's got to go. The pride of Sorao, we all got blown out the first round. We just support Yuji a little bit. And I fucking win the whole thing. Don't go to the ground at all. And Bostic looks, he's like, this is bullshit, and he stalks out. And I have never actually seen him again.
Wow, he never came back to the gym.
I think he still trains, but I think he just trained. I think he got a job in the city and trains in San Francisco. But he's never trained with me again.
I see, because you game the system.
I didn't game the system, man. I talked to Ty Domi. I got a few hints and tips and tricks. Boom.
I see. But you didn't fight a classic jiu-jitsu match. You gamed the system.
It was classic. It was classic for me.
Classic Eugene gaming the system. Taking hands.
I earned the love of the people. Except I'll note like Renzo Gracie's black belt Harley. I don't know if you've seen the paper
Harley
today.
Flanagan, he's got a new book coming out.
Harley Flanagan's got a new book coming out, and not only that, he's in the New York Times today.
Harley Flanagan of the Cro-Mags is in the New York Times today?
It's a great article, man. Stabbed. That's what he said. I'm in the Times not because I stabbed somebody. Here you go. I thought this is all right, man. It makes me
What's the
happy.
Occasion?
It's his book, and you know what? Say what you want about Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain is giving dude lots of love. I don't know, but he's also got pictures of him here with, Andy Warhol, Deborah Harry. I wasn't hanging out with Deborah Harry when I was 10.
Hey, Harley's lived quite a life, and it's amazing he's still going.
Yep. And it's even more amazing. He's from the depths. He's married well. His wife is like general counsel for some fucking venture capital thing. So dude spends his weekend riding polo ponies. That, for a guy who dropped out of school when he was fucking 8 years old, it's all right, man.
I see. The moral of the story, kids, is marry well.
Yeah. So anyway, here he is, Joe Strummer and fucking Andy Warhol. It's great, man. It's great. It makes me happy every time I think about his story.
I see. Well, congrats to Harley, and his book is coming out on Feral House, and I didn't even get a free copy, so we're plugging it just.
I ordered mine, man. I ordered it, pre-ordered months ago, so I'm looking forward to it showing up.
I'll see. I try not to pre-order books. I've been burned before by the.
I did to support the home team because I was involved in the early stage editing of the book. So mostly I bought the book to infuriate myself. So when I get to the acknowledgments and he fails to acknowledge that I was involved in the early stage editing, I can throw the book across the room and send him a text that says, "Fuck you."
I see. Well, it's fun to have plans.
Hey, you know, I'm not getting older, man. I'm getting bitter.
bitter. All right. So now, drum roll, please. We've got the main event. Andrei Arlovski, Josh Barnett. We both care. Who are you picking?
Oh, man. I got it. Josh Barnett is a friend of Knuckle Up, catch wrestler.
Until he drives off in your Chevy.
He drives off in the Chevy, but he has looked not so good his last few outings. Arlovski, according to Jake Shields, is an #1 prick. But Arlovski does have the "How Taste My Pee-Pee" blast, which earns him a spot in the Eugene Robinson Hall of Fame. But I'm gonna have to go with he's been fighting. The difference is he's been fighting afraid. You know,
Arlovski has.
Arlovski's been fighting afraid. He looks afraid. Sometimes a guy who's afraid, it's a great motivating factor. Fighting afraid is great, but you know I don't know. Fighting afraid, I don't know if it's gonna get it. Josh Barnett has been not winning, but he doesn't fight afraid. So
Barnett's only lost 2 out of his last 3. He beat Roy Nelson by decision in Japan last year, which was not a scintillating fight.
No.
And then he got go-go choked by Ben Rothwell, which was
that was bad.
It was embarrassing. Yeah, that was.
And then he also got elbowed into oblivion by
Travis Brown. But
Mr. Housey.
Yeah, that one. I mean, he made a positional mistake and paid the price. It wasn't,
whatever, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying against Rothwell, he looked like not himself. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm still picking dude, so that's where we go.
You're picking Barnett.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta go with the catch guy.
Yeah.
And you know the thing is, I've been burned before with Barnett, but I just can't. I can't. He's dating this woman who used to be a friend of mine, and I just can't. I gotta go for dude. So
I see. Now, did these guys ever meet back in the Affliction days, or was that fight booked and then never happened? That fight was booked and then never happened because I think boys
steroid usage.
Yes. So
I met a guy last night that I haven't seen since 1984, and he recalls my entry into the world of steroids. That's how. So remember you got some anti-estrogen from France. Do you remember? He named the guy I got it from because it was legal to get in France. I go, fuck, his recall was so perfect. It sounded, I remember all those markers. And he goes, yeah, you finally broke down and got it toward the end of your cycle because you were sitting watching TV crying all the time. And then decided that your hormones are going fucking nuts. You'll be watching TV commercials. And fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken shit, fuck, And I said, then you realize I gotta do something, So you got the Novadex.
I see. Well, I'm tempted to pick Arlovski just to be contrary.
Good, do it.
I think I'm going to do it just to make it interesting. Now the dude's not tracking our picks anymore. We've got freedom to just make stupid picks.
You and George Michael, freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom.
I got very little in common with George Michael.
We need to ask a restroom about that.
I'm more the Andrew Ridgely kind of Wham member, I think.
Just obscure.
Yeah. What's that handsome guy doing in the background?
He's doing this.
I'm sure he was like key in the studio, like just tweaking knobs and.
I'd like to have a band with second bananas,
Like Garfield Oates, the gal comedy team.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
They're not that funny, but it's a funny name. So
I'm not making fun of anybody who's not that funny because I got my comedy show coming up on September 2nd.
You got a comedy show coming up.
Yeah, me and sports agent extraordinaire Salvatore Russo are going to do it. But we're going to upend comedy because most people are going for the joke. We're doing the exact opposite. We're not going for any joke.
I see. This is going to be like Bobby Darin turns into a folk singer in Vegas with.
I think we're pretty much going to talk about gangbang exploits. So it's going to guaranteed to offend the sensibilities of San Francisco. And then they won't believe us until we actually start naming names, and that'll get really uncomfortable.
That should, yes. That sounds like yeah. I'm sure the politically correct crowd is going to love that. The millennials, they're very open-minded.
Have you ever seen that movie Giant with James Dean?
Of course.
Okay, you remember the banquet scene?
Yes.
That's what we're going for.
Charming, and you're calling this comedy.
They call it comedy. They call it alt comedy. We're just calling it alt.
I see. Did you see Ann Coulter on the Comedy Channel roast of Rob Lowe?
Oh, I did actually. I didn't see it at the time, but I watched it after people started talking about it. That was
It's
nice.
worth watching. It's the most vicious roasting since Chevy Chase.
Yeah, like she gives a fuck. You know, she's laughing all the way to the bank.
I don't know. I think when her jokes died, the death after she had been getting crucified the whole time, I think it might have started to sink in. There was some indications on her hideous visage that there was actual feels happening inside her head.
Do you remember, having been a Politico at the time, you might have remembered that there was this very strong whisper rumor about her boning a pretty high-level married Republican cat, and the list had narrowed down to like Newt, Trent Lott. I mean, just people that you don't want to think about having sex.
Well, like Ann Coulter.
Yeah, her too. So I don't remember who it was, and I didn't really push too hard to find out. So
yeah, my favorite one was the guy who asked her with Ann Coulter here, who's scaring the crows away from the crops? That
was pretty good. Actually, in terms of unlikely matings, I had a friend who was at some media event, and he goes, "Man, I don't know if I was ready for this." He had a look of a man with a haunted, and I go, "What happened? It sounds like it's pretty fun." He was like, "Man, Martha Stewart was after me." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Man, she was like fucking put," and I was like, "And?" And he looks at me, he goes, "What do you mean, and?" I go, "And?" He goes, "Nah, man, I'm not about." I'm like, "You're a fucking idiot." I'd have been up at the fucking house with a tea cozy on my nuggets. I'd have been all over that.
I see. Wouldn't Snoop be jealous?
Yeah, well, that's what I heard. They were doing a show together. I was like, well, I know something that the rest of the world doesn't know. I
like,
hey,
come on, like everybody can do the math on that one.
What?
I mean, Snoop and Martha Stewart, of course. It'd be a crime if they didn't.
Yeah, right. That's right. I mean, it's like with Chelsea Handler and 50 Cent. It's like, come on, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Except Chelsea Handler's kind of a blabbermouth. I'm not so. Given the fact that I'm a blabbermouth, I don't need two of me.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Martha Stewart, you know, she can keep her mouth shut. She knows the two greatest things in life: not squealing on your friends and keeping your fucking mouth shut.
So, exactly right. A key to good dental health. Keep your mouth shut. You know.
Indeed, a lesson Phil Spector could learn before he went to jail.
Yeah, man, oh man.
So supposedly it was his own bodyguard that broke his jaw in jail. So.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yep. He was too mouthy even for the guy who was paying to keep people from killing him.
Man, I don't work for you anymore. Crack.
Exactly. So
I tell you about that friend of mine who went to San Quentin, and he was like, "Man, I was really nervous before I went there." Did I tell you this? You remember this?
No.
And he's walking in general for the first time. He's Randy, huh? Looks up. It's a guy. Hey! He's like, Randy. Hey! He knew like 5 guys there. You want to know what happened to the skateboarders of your youth? Try San Quentin.
I see. Well, that's.
He said it was great. He had a great time, man. You know, he's like, just a community. If you can keep from getting raped, whatever, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, well, our tax dollars are being well spent, making sure ex-skateboarder felons are having a great time. That's not the goal. All right, so you're picking Josh Barnett, and I'm picking Andrei Arlovski. Are you picking a finish? Are you man enough to pick a finish?
Yeah, let's go for a submission. What round? I don't know.
You don't know.
Is this a 3-rounder or a 5-rounder?
This is a 5-rounder, baby. This is the big time. UFC Hamburg.
Well, let's give it a 3. Round 3.
Round 3.
Round 3 submission. I'm writing it down.
I see. I'm going to pick a KO in the first.
Okay, and we'll make your KO. Your been smirk has just fucking freed you up, man. I like that, you know. I like that. All right.
This is good. All right. Well, that's our show. Zane and Connor will be back with the MMA
Zane
tomorrow.
Yeah.
the actual preview of the fights from people who've actually looked into who's fighting and care about all the fights. So they're young and crazy and have a lot of time on their hands. That's the difference. And Zane and I'll have the 6th round on Saturday afternoon. Eugene will have Knuckle Up on Sunday.
Yeah, why not? If I don't get killed by the dump truck.
I see. So you'll have the full dump truck story.
But that's a special secret, right? That it's Sunday, that I do it live on Sunday. Otherwise, you people normally just get it on Monday. But it's a special thing that we're sharing with the people who listen to the show. So
it's for hardcore fans only, like Elvis.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So I was gonna see when the next UFC is. So the next UFC is UFC 203, Miocic versus Overeem, coming up on September 10th, a week from Saturday. So we'll have all the usual stuff. Care, don't care, vivisection, if I did it, all that. So subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. Subscribe to MMA Nation on iTunes for the audio without the ugly. Eugene, show us how to give a thumbs up.
And
that's not actually right. Thumbs up. There's a thumb icon under the screen here. So give us one of those. Follow us on Twitter at KidNate, at Eugene S. Robinson, not to be confused with any of the other Eugene Robinsons out there.
The whoremongering football player, or the older gentleman.
Older gentleman, Washington Post column. Isn't it getting to the point where anybody older than you is already retired?
Close.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, not really. It means I'll finally get I got my due. Yeah.
I see. You think he's going to shut down his Twitter account and path will be cleared now? No? Oh, well, someday. All right. I think I did all the plugs. Read me on bloodyelbow.com. Read Eugene at Aussie.com. Sometimes Vice's Fightland.
Not for a long time.
Not in many years. But I still like to plug it just because,
Well, because you can still go there. It's in perpetuity. You can still go there and type in my walkout series or some of the other pieces.
A classic. Steve Albini's Hate Fest was my favorite, I think.
That actually caused Josh Barnett to go on Joe Rogan and say he wanted to beat up Steve Albini, which of course caused me to get Albini on Knuckle Up and go back to this. And he was like, well, Josh can do like anybody else. Look me up online, figure out where I work, and show up and beat me up if he thinks that'll help. I like it. Which is generally, that's like a Eugene Robinson response. Some guy called me angry that I was trying to have sex with his girlfriend, who contacted me first. I didn't put her on Front Street to say, yeah, your old lady contacted me first. And I said, look, you can show up. I'll give you my address, and you can beat me up if you think that'll improve your relationship. He goes, oh, I know you fight, you do jiu-jitsu. I go, I won't fight back. If you think punching me in the face several times will make her love you more, you're welcome to try.
I see. So what do I have to do to get this offer?
You got to put something on the line, like your wife.
Yeah, we've been through that already. I'm afraid she's got to vote too. So
yeah. Well, then that's something you don't want to put that up for vote then.
No. One of these days. All right. Well, that's our show. So I already told you everything. Adios, MMA aficionados. Thanks, Eugene. We'll see you next time.
All right, man. Later. Bye.